A must-win scenario showdown in Nashville. It's Vanderbilt, it's Tennessee. We're crossing over.
You are Locked On SEC, your daily podcast on the Southeastern Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into a crossover edition of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's Eric Cain with Locked On Vols. I'm your host, Corey Burton, Locked On Vandy. Got an important basketball game this weekend, a game that took on a lot of importance with Tennessee winning their midweek matchup and Vanderbilt losing their midweek matchup against Missouri, puts them in a tie. Now they're fighting for double byes. They're fighting for seeding, all of that stuff. We're going to talk about that. We're going to make a prediction at the end of the show as well. And we're going to talk about Tennessee, what they bring to the table, kind of like what Vanderbilt needs to stop for Tennessee, and then vice versa for Tennessee stopping Vanderbilt. So all of that plus more right here on this edition of your Locked On crossover with Locked On Vols, Locked On Vandy. This episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. You may need one after this one. Have your cake and drink it too. Birthday cake flavor is back. No fork needed. Vanilla-y, cakey flavor, caffeinated kick, and no sugar. It's party time. So order now at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. So, Eric, from the Tennessee perspective, one of the things that Vanderbilt brings to the table, and I want to get your opinion on like what you guys see out of Vanderbilt's attack, so to speak, is really the Nickel and Tanner show, and it's really, you know, Nickel is the sharpshooter. Tyler Nickel, he leads. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the conference. He had kind of an off night, or got kind of off to a kind of a rough start against Missouri, and this is a game that he just, for postseason run's sake, for whatever, he needs to get back on track. Same with Tyler Tanner. He had 27 against Missouri, so he's kind of back on track. But really, this team runs through those two guys. What, from a Tennessee perspective, do you guys see with Vanderbilt and how they attack?
I mean, pretty much that. Kind of the Tanner and Nickel show right there. Always good out on the perimeter. Vanderbilt's had such a great turnaround with this basketball program the last year, going back to 2 years, and really just kind of getting out on the perimeter, trying to slow down the 3-point shooting. You can allow one guy to go off, but you can't allow one guy to go off and then another guy to have a really good game. Okay, you kind of let one guy go off and try to shut down the other one as much as you can. So it's kind of what I'm looking at from that aspect. Also, like an underlying storyline in this game, I feel like, and it's not really a big one because Carey's not played very well for Tennessee. But Jaylen Carey, Jaylen Carey played for Vanderbilt last year, and really he beat up on Tennessee in those two matchups. I mean, I think he scored in double figures both those games, near double doubles.
He had a double-double, I think, in the home win last year.
I think it's one of the reasons why Tennessee, whenever he was in the portal, was like, hey, I'd like to go get that guy, try to play inside out. He's been really inconsistent on the offensive end this year for Tennessee. He's battled some injuries as well. But with his presence out in the lineup, I think it's all about trying to slow down the perimeter game and trying to slow down those two guys.
Yeah, no doubt. And, the Vanderbilt fans have been chomping at the bit for this game for quite some time since he left and signed with Tennessee. But, he's going to be a force down there in the front court, and they're going to have their hands full. And, Eric, one thing about Vanderbilt's front court is you don't really know which guy is going to be the major contributor. It seems like they take turns. At some point, all three of them are going to go off. I'm not sure when that is. Saturday would be a convenient time for that. But the leader, the one that's kind of been the most reliable guy, was actually not great against Missouri, which is A.K. Okirke. But McLaughlin, he had 2 flagrant fouls against Missouri, so he got off the rails a little bit. Jalen Washington has been quiet. So this front court, they just go up and down. That's probably the biggest roller coaster portion of this team. And how do you see this front court matchup from Tennessee's perspective?
Well, it's funny. It's like you were talking, and I'm just like, yep, I'm living that. Yep. I mean, Tennessee's front court is so up and down. There's no consistency there. And when someone's starting to come along, it's like they get sidetracked with a bad game or most likely an injury. Like J.P. Estrella has been really good for Tennessee here lately. Missed all last season with a bum foot. He missed last game with soreness in that foot, that same foot. I think it's in a different part of the foot. But again, when you're 6'10", 240, it's not good, And so, but JP Estrela's been really good. He's got a lot of potential on the offensive end. He's blown up a couple games on the offensive end. Not the rim protector that Rick Barnes wants, but so like whenever someone like him's playing well, he's sidelined. Felix Okpara, who went off the other night, which was great to see. He's not very good with the basketball in his hands posting up, but really good at putbacks. And Tennessee's one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. So I think that's something Vanderbilt is obviously got to be aware of. Felix Okpara in the offensive boards. Dwayne Brown's a freshman, and kind of anything you get's a little bonus right now, but he plays a big pivotal role for Tennessee. Cade Phillips, of course, is out. He's been out, for quite some time. It's been very inconsistent in the front court for Tennessee, and that's been frustrating. We'll see about JP Estrella. Didn't play last game. He was doubtful on Tuesday night. Didn't play on Wednesday. We'll kind of see if he can get some rest, heading into Saturday. That'd be a big lift for Tennessee, but inconsistent front court for Tennessee. Or for Vanderbilt, inconsistent front court for Tennessee as well, and that includes Jaylen Carey, who we spoke on earlier. It's like he gets in foul trouble. He has too many turnovers. It's just not really come together for Jaylen Carey at Tennessee, and that's unfortunate because I thought he would be the leader of the front court. But, no better time than late February and March to come alive, and no better time to come alive against your former team, which I'm sure Vanderbilt fans remember. He was talking that smack when he got to Tennessee.
He was, and they didn't really appreciate it. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they treat him. It'll be interesting to see, the guard play I think is going to be outstanding from both sides. So for Tennessee, I would say if I had to give the biggest self-scout key for Tennessee in stopping Tanner and Nickel would be stop that outlet pass to the perimeter. Do not give Nickel a good look at the basket. Be physical with Tanner, limit him early because he's very confidence-based. And if he misses early, sometimes he can kind of get into a slump and Tennessee can really, really stretch that lead. So, but one of the things we're going to talk about here in a second is one of the most important keys that goes against Vanderbilt from Tennessee's perspective. If Vanderbilt can limit this and Tennessee can do this, it will go in Tennessee's favor. If it's flipped, Vanderbilt has the edge. I'll tell you what that is next. But the next thing I'm going to tell you about is 5-Hour Energy. And we're welcome to the 5-Hour Energy Flavor Draft. We're looking at every aspect of the draft to let you know which tasty flavors are the best and which might be the sleepers. The board is set, the flavors are ready, and the only one going to take the top spot, who is that going to be? Now, 5-Hour Energy has a wide variety of flavors, something for everyone. 5-Hour Energy shots give you a boost with 0 sugar. 5-Hour Energy has a lot of upcoming flavor innovations planned. And, man, there's a lot of things out there. So in the comments, let me know what flavor you would like to see 5-Hour Energy come out with. Now, I like the birthday cake flavor. Like if we're going to go crazy, like obviously I like the standard flavors, but if we're going to go like out there, you have confetti craze, fruity rainbow, cotton candy, it's tough to get behind some of these names, but the birthday cake one, I typically go for that type of ice cream, like any of that, like any of that type of flavor, stuff like that is usually okay with me when I go kind of outside the box on these things. So that's the one I'm going to take here as my number one. Do you have one that stands out?
Yeah, I was going to go with the birthday cake as well. It's again, you said it earlier, no fork needed, so it's just something tasty. It's literally a nice little treat, but it does the job for me. It gives me a boost of energy here in the early afternoon when everybody's tired from lunch and ready to go home. It's birthday cake, 5-Hour Energy. It really hits the spot.
Yeah. So you know what they say, Eric, when you and me agree, it's fact. So, and that much is true. So find your new flavors at 5-Hour Energy shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com. That's the number 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Find your new favorite flavor right there. Now, Eric, tell us about FanDuel.
Yeah, have you ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals? I know I have. I watch the NBA Finals, every summer since I've been a little boy, and I've never been able to go and experience that in person. But right now, FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into a reality with the NBA Sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use a profit boost on any NBA future bet, and you will automatically be entered for a shot to win NBA Finals trip for 2. So it's not just to get into the arena. No, it's flights, it's tickets, the whole experience. All right. So it's not just, I mean, they're going to take care of you over there at FanDuel. And if you're already looking at the board thinking about which team can make that deep run, this is the perfect time to go ahead and lock in your pick. I love futures this time of the year because you have a really good idea what the league is, right? But there's still some sleepers, there's still some late bloomers and all that. And if you're picking a team to win the championship, the finals, maybe a conference championship, maybe a divisional title, all that and more, is an extra layer to that excitement to watch every single game down the stretch. And now, not only can you pick your cash, but you can also send you to the finals. Visit FanDuel.com today to get started. Use your profit boost on any NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
I'm Clea Butler, host of Locked On Women's Basketball, and this is Mazda's Women's Basketball Snapshot, celebrating the work no highlight reel can ever capture. It was a heavyweight showdown between number 3 South Carolina and number 7 LSU, and the Gamecocks rose to the occasion. South Carolina secured a hard-fought 79-72 victory to stay atop the SEC standings, using a balanced offensive attack to outlast the Tigers. Tessa Johnson led the way with 21 points, while Raven Johnson added 19. Medina Okot dominated the paint with a double-double, finishing with 12 points and 17 rebounds, while Joyce Edwards chipped in 10 points to round out the scoring. With the statement win, the Gamecocks now turn their attention to a road matchup at number 23 Alabama on Thursday. These moments are earned off the clock, those long before the lights ever come on. The sweat, the fakes, the doubt, the scrapes, and coming back for more every time. Mazda puts that same drive into every detail. Wins define the moment, putting in the work, that defines you. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you.
All right. Yeah. And speaking of more, there's more to this game if you want to be an everydayer. If you're a loyal listener and you're an everydayer, why not just take it to the next level? If you're an everydayer with the Vols, if you're an everydayer with Locked On Vandy, just subscribe right here. The link is in the show notes. The link is right here. Make sure you find the Everydayers Club, $5 a month, $50 if you go the annual route. You get ad-free audio, Cainer. That's you can't go wrong there, right? Like you're walking your dog or you're at the grocery store, you got the headphones in. Mm-hmm. Like you get the ad-free audio. That's a game changer.
Can't go wrong there. Can't go wrong also with access to the Locked On merch store to get some swag. And my favorite part about it is access to the Locked On Everydayer Club Discord channel, where there's a Locked On Vols dedicated channel. There's a Locked On Vandy dedicated channel. There's a college basketball channel, college football. I mean, I had Brandon Olson from Locked On Gators in there talking smack the other day. Got to get him out. But it's a cool place to hang out during the game and talk to your listeners or talk some trash if you want to. So we'll be in there on Saturday. My Everydayer Club link, if you're a Vol fan listening right now, lockedonvols.supercast.com. That's lockedonvols.supercast.com. And Corey, for Vandy, how can they get it?
Well, they can go to lockedonvandy.supercast.com. They can get subscribed there. Members only Discord, ad-free audio. It's all there. It's all worth it. Make sure you join that today. Like I said, click on that link in the show notes, and we'll take care of you. All right, we are wrapping up here on this crossover edition of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's Locked On Vols, Locked On Vandy. I'm Corey Burton. That's Eric Cain, Mr. Cainer. Yeah, so we're talking keys to the game, kind of what needs to happen. And I think with the two teams that play the way they play, I think the start of this game is probably the most vital part of what needs to happen for success. For Vanderbilt, if they don't start fast, it's very difficult for them to get into a groove and to have a lot of confidence. It took them, they started slow against Missouri. They fought their way a little bit, and then they got down by 21, and then they made a furious comeback, but it was too little too late because they had a slow start. And for Tennessee, if they can manage that, if they can shut down Vanderbilt and get on a run early, that's probably their best chance to win. If Vanderbilt gets hot early on, it's either going to be a dogfight, or Vanderbilt has shown that when they get off to a hot start, they can separate a little bit. So for Tennessee, what is the key for them to get off to a hot start? I mean, I know Nate Ament is elite. He's somebody that Vanderbilt's definitely going to have to pay attention to. How do they get off to that hot start, though?
To me, it's all about the second half. And that's not to say that Tennessee doesn't get off the good starts, because Tennessee does. Tennessee's built double-digit first-half leads a ton here in SEC play. They've had double-digit second-half leads, but here's the kicker, because of those good starts. But here's the kicker. Tennessee, they've won the majority of these games, but it's like when they have a double-digit lead in the second half, it's like they blow it almost, or they nearly blow it every time. 17-point lead at home in the second half against Kentucky, you lost that game. 14-point lead on the road at Rupp against Kentucky, you lost that game. Hey, Tennessee, Kentucky, like Tennessee, Vanderbilt, big rivalry game. Stuff happens. But Tennessee lost those games. You were at Mississippi State, and Tennessee State went on an 18-0 run in the second half. Tennessee survived, right? The other night against LSU, Tennessee had double-digit lead, still won by 10, but they cut it within 3. 2 nights ago, Tennessee and Oklahoma. Tennessee led by 14, they cut it to 6, and Tennessee went ahead and blew them out. So my point in all this is good teams find a way to win, and a lot of times basketball is a game of runs. I get it. Tennessee has been falling victim of giving up big leads in second halves, and for Vanderbilt, I think that's an opportunity. Even if Vanderbilt doesn't get off to the best starts, keep chipping away, because Tennessee hasn't been able to learn to kind of play with a big lead. Now, they've closed good the last 2 games against bad teams, Oklahoma and LSU, but that is encouraging. Having said that, though, where Tennessee has someone there to bail him out, it's Nate Ament. You brought him up, man. He has been incredible. He's scored a career-high 29 points in, 4 of his last 6 games, I think. It's been incredible. He has been elite in the second half. When things are going away from Tennessee, he climbs them out of that hole. He builds them out of that hole. He's scoring at all 3 levels on offense, out on the perimeter, the mid-range. He's seeking out contact. He's been elite from the free throw line. He shot over 85% in the second half from the free throw line. I mean, the numbers are staggering what this soon-to-be lottery pick is doing for Tennessee, specifically in the second half. So if I'm Vanderbilt and you get off to the not a great start, know there's opportunity in the second half, but also know that number 10, the true freshman, the 5-star, the soon-to-be lottery pick, he's coming. He's been great in the second half. You got to find a way to try to limit his impact in the second half, because it's like he's good in the first half, but he gets hot. He keeps heating up there, and he's dynamite there in the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, anything that gets above 16 points deficit at any stretch of the game, it just seems like Vanderbilt just can't get in enough of rhythm to chip away at that. It just seems like they'll, against Oklahoma, they cut the lead down to 2 on several occasions, but Oklahoma ended up stretching it out back to 20, 22. They ended up winning. Oklahoma ended up winning by 1 because Vanderbilt had this furious comeback in the last 90 seconds of the game. But they just can't get in a rhythm quick enough. I think if Vanderbilt would have played against Oklahoma, if they would have played 8 good minutes of basketball instead of 5 good minutes of basketball, they probably win that game. And that's been the problem with Vanderbilt. When they get ahead or they keep those leads small, they can typically get in enough rhythm in the second half. They're a good closing team, and they're a good starting team. And then when they don't start well, a lot of times they end up closing well, but it's not well enough, and that's been their 5 losses. But when they start well, they're a good closing team, and they can typically finish. And so if Tennessee has a big lead, you've got to, for Tennessee, they have to keep the pedal on the floor, and they have to act like they're down. And that's the way you get Vanderbilt.
One other player I do want to make mention of, I'll talk about the front court, and the front court's a storyline just because it's been so inconsistent. Nate Ament's the star. Jacobi Gillespie's really good. Point guard for Tennessee. He did something last game that Zakai Ziegler never did. Now, I think Zakai Ziegler deserves his jersey on the Raptors. I mean, he's a Vol legend, right? And he's known for his defense. Jacobi Gillespie, who is an offensive first point guard, who is a shoot first point guard, had 8 steals the other night. That's a Tennessee single game record. It was a triple-double watch. He had 8 steals. He had 8 assists. He had 14 points. He's a shooter. He's been really good in the second half, hitting some big-time threes for Tennessee. Jacobi Gillespie, midway through the year, he would have just these horrendous turnovers in the last minute or 2 of the game. I mean, he had a turnover in the last 30 seconds of the game, that Kentucky game I referenced at home where Tennessee blew the 17-point lead. Just inexplicable, just threw the ball to the other team. Like stuff like that would make you pull your hair out. But he's been really good, and again, nearly had a triple-double the other night. So Nate Ament's the star. Jacobi Gillespie is, I'm not going to call him Batman because he's really, really good, or Robin to the Batman because he's really good as well. Tennessee's backcourt is phenomenal this year, and yet you add in Bishop Boswell, that's kind of the glue guy that won't score a lot of points, but he'll facilitate, he'll get rebounds, he plays good defense, just kind of ties it all together there, in that two guard spot, which is a little weird because Nate plays the 3. The offense runs through him. Jacobi Gillespie in the 2 guard is more of a facilitator, defender, and rebounder really in this Tennessee offense.
Yeah, no doubt. And Gillespie almost messed around and got a triple-double. That's great. But give me a prediction.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's playing really well right now. I know this game's in Nashville. We always say this every time we go to that arena, just the eyesight, the TV lines, and if you're covering that game, you're way up in the clouds. It's a weird gym, but it's good if it's your home gym because, it's weird. That's what you want. Give me Tennessee. I think Tennessee's playing really well. I mean, Kentucky's got the number this year, right? Kind of like last year until Tennessee beat them in the Sweet 16. I think Nate Ament's playing at another level right now. I think Gillespie obviously is playing very well. If Tennessee can get J.P. Estrella again, I don't know. He was doubtful earlier in the week, missed last game. I probably not, but we'll see. I feel much better about it, but maybe this could be the game that Jaylen Carey comes out of nowhere and really plays to his potential against his former team. So give me Tennessee. I think it'll be a close one. I think it'll be a physical basketball game. It always is. Two rival teams going at it, but I'll take Tennessee by, I know the line's not out there at FanDuel Sportsbook right now, but give me Tennessee by 4 or 5 points.
Yeah. The Jaylen Carey factory, I think, is going to – the factor is going to play into this. It's at home. If this game this weekend was away, I might pick differently because Vanderbilt is so banged up and they just seem so exhausted, and road trips just seem to kind of take its toll on them. So luckily it's at home. So I'm going to take Vanderbilt by that same margin. I think it's going to be tight. I think Vanderbilt, with the aid of a couple of late free throws, is going to push it to about 6, and that's going to be kind of where your final sits. I think it's going to be – I could see this game getting into the 80s where it's like 86-80 or like 84-78, like that type of score where Tennessee gets in a situation where they have to foul at the end of the game and Vandy just hits free throws and just stretches the lead, where it looks a lot worse than it actually is, but it's probably because they have to foul and do that kind of stuff at the end of the game. I just think there's going to be a lot of juice here with it being home, with the Jaylen Carey things happening and the fans, they got something special for him, I'm sure. So that's going to play into it. So, and they got to split. So I think if they split, I think you get a split of each team holding serve at home. So give me Vandy by 6 on Saturday. Make sure you check this game out. Make sure you check out, Eric, are you going live after?
Probably not live after because I'll be covering baseball as well. So I'll have a show up most likely Sunday morning.
Okay, well, stay tuned for that. I will be stay tuned to that. I will make an announcement as well on when my show's gonna, what my plans are. So if you follow me on social media at Locked On Vandy everywhere, just stay tuned, follow along. I'll let you know when that live stream is happening, when that live reaction is happening. But this one's going to be a fun one, Cainer. Thanks for joining me. Hope you guys have a great weekend. If you're traveling to the game, be safe, be careful, have fun, and of course, anchor down.
Go Vols.